Good afternoon to one and all. It is a pleasure to be here in Oaxaca, in the city of Oaxaca in Mexico, to be able to share with you some of our experiences. I come from the city of Natal in the eastern coast of Brazil, and we're here to share something with you that really encourages us. For many years now, we've participated in a project that has become a museum, and this is just a sample of what we're doing there, and maybe you can replicate this in your own cities. That would be great. I'm going to read a very short text, and I'm going to show you some slides. Every day we are alive, we feel the weight of gravity hang heavy on our shoulders. What can we do to lighten our experiences, to get rid of that oppression? Where do we find the strength to look at the world from a different perspective, with less individuality, with greater integrity, vis-a-vis those who try to communicate with us? Thank you for inviting me and sharing some of our experiences in this event is really a plus and allows us to exchange knowledge and experiences. And what I'm showing today is the result of the way I understand how communities are important in the relationships that exist in our continent. We have some triggers of the imagination. Carolina asked me what I like to do best, and I said to live in nature, and that I would love to be able to fly or soar as an eagle. So I invite you to join me in a magical flight. Let's look at the first exercise, which is using corn. Please take one of the seeds in the envelopes, put it in your mouths, and feel how that seed starts to allow the flavors to come forth. No effort involved. The second one is done with the help of technology. We're going up. Let's get out of the Earth and go into the universe, and let's take advantage of the thrust of the rocket to reach the heights of satellites, but also the vision that satellites have. Let's take over their capabilities, not the control, but the imagination and the perspective they offer. So let's climb up. And at a given time, let's look down and let's look at Earth. Let's look at the continents and the oceans. And then we realize that there is something different in the American continent. We identify with it. We perceive that that is where our roots are and our affections lie. And at a point, your heart lets you know that you're not going back to Earth. And I'll ask you, if you had to just keep one experience of what you lived on Earth, what would it be? Who would it involve? And our memories involve people and a specific date. So save that memory, and let's now think of 3 wishes for the Earth. The title of the communication is When an Exhibit Becomes a Museum. And let me tell you how I translated one of my desires and wishes, that is for more people to look at the world from above. This was an exhibit that that began as an installation. We created a giant map, 400 square meters, a map that represented the city of Natal. It was a traveling exhibit. We take it to schools and parks, and we invite people to walk on the map. And people love it. The first thing they do is to find their houses. Each one wants to identify their own story, their own lives. Now we want people to rotate around themselves, to turn into satellites, and to be able to have the power that satellites have, to be able to really experience the power of sublimation. And the kids enjoy it a lot. One of our technologies to take little cars and trucks and trains so that they can play around in the cities with these elements. And they play and they get to know their surroundings. They have so much fun that they appear to be as Gulliver in a map. And the teachers, well, they try to find the networks, the parks, the schools where they work. And the experience of different generations is very beautiful because the grandparents kneel with their grandchildren or their children and try amongst themselves to retell their stories of their places. The teenagers really flip out. They fly, they enjoy it, they want to learn where their girlfriend's house is, where they kissed for the first time. And teachers really enjoy this because they can derive many benefits for subjects such as geography and history. Another thing was the biolayers of the city. We perceived that people would love to identify their stories, and we went to many schools and we took these envelopes to them. We gave them a sheet of paper and we asked them to tell us one of their stories that they had experienced in the city. Now, Natal is now considered to be one of the most violent cities in Brazil. So we decided to work on the cartography of violence. This is a community, Paso da Patria, that is famous for being a very violent place. And we invited young people to think about different projects for this site. This is a collective effort, and we went to the university, to the Department of Art and City Planning, and we asked children to become architects and urban planners of their cities. And they came up with many proposals. They started creating using paper, pens. They created a library, a soccer field for girls, a park. And we were able to also participate with teachers. Our present experience in Brazil is really tough, especially for teachers. Sometimes drug traffickers call a school and say, close up the school because they're going to have crossfire and we don't want the children to suffer, so they suspend classes. And the teachers get ill, they suffer from depression, so it's a tough problem. So we invited teachers and we had a training course so as to heal our teachers, so that they could leave pain behind, so for them to get rid of gravity. We had a dance workshop so that they could relax. And in your own envelopes, you have a balloon. The activities that we carried out with the teachers entailed asking them to blow into the balloons and send one of their desires into that breath of air, into the balloon, and not let them fall down. Many people learned about the project, so we decided to create a museum because it was impossible to carry this giant map all over the place. So we created the Museum of Collective Memory, which is a virtual museum, and we invited everyone in Brazil to share the importance of discussing our city under a museum outlook. So we created a digital platform which is called MAC, M-A-C, and thanks to an invitation extended by the Modern Art Museum of Medellin in 2017, we were able to share many proposals and methodologies that have allowed people to post on the internet and our website their memories about the city. I'm going to share with you very quickly something about Medellin. These are audio recordings that the children made with the creators of the program, The City for Children. So they went out on the streets to tape these sounds. And that allowed people to own their own places and allow them to really tell the stories of the places where they live. So these are children taping the sounds of birds, or when they go to a barber, or when they play out on the streets. So this allowed us to make people own their surroundings and generate the sense of belonging, and that the change would not be in the hands of our rulers, but rather to reach more people and empower them to change their places. Thank you. We have 15 minutes. No, let's go back to the envelope. So we have these triggering devices. So you have the corn, the balloon, a blue ribbon, and a piece of paper. So let's carry out the exercise. that the teachers carried out. So let's blow our wish into the balloon. So our wishes are now contained in the balloon. One wish or many. So let's move forward, please. The ones who are in the back, please come forward. Come on, come on. Join me up here and let's play. Now we are not individuals, we're just one entity. Our wishes are not much on their own, but if we join hands and if we push our wishes up, our wishes might come true. So stand up, please. And the game is quite easy. Let us not one single balloon fall down to the ground. Don't allow any balloon to get to the ground. All our dreams are going up. The dreams of equality, of freedom. Let's keep them up. Our affections, our history. So keep them up. So, again, in the envelope there is a piece of paper, and on this side we have a map of America. Please put your little post-it on a site that means something to you. You can write down your memory and maybe one of your wishes and just post it on the map of America. Up here, up front to your right. Oh, sorry. One more thing. In Brazil, in Bahia, in Salvador de Bahia, there is a tradition. We tie a little ribbon around our wrists. You wrap it around 3 times and make 3 wishes. And if we do that together, we're going to carry on ourselves, on our bodies, all our wishes all the time. So you have the ribbons up there, and you can grab one. Yeah, the ribbons are right there on the little table next to the map.